Raising Dion Season 2 is almost here, and we're extremely excited to tell you everything we know so far. Casting, plot thickening, and possible new faces. Everything you need to know before the second installment is out for you all to watch. Let's not waste any time and get right into it. When will Season 2 be premiering, and when was a renewal announced? Superhero enthusiasts can get ready to have a spectacular winter, because the show is scheduled to return to Netflix on February 1st, 2022. Fans of the show have had to be extremely patient for new episodes, because Season 1 first aired all the way back in the fall of 2019. While the show was renewed on January 2nd, 2020, the pandemic accounted for delays on the series being able to move into production. Raising Dion was the first official 2020 renewal Netflix released. So, how many episodes can we expect? With the official news of the series finally being greenlit for a second season, Variety reported that there will be 8 episodes in the next installment. Unfortunately, this is one less episode than the debut season's 9. Expect to see familiar faces. Raising Dion isn't the same without the main character and his mother. So obviously, Josiah Young, who plays Dion, and Alicia Wainwright, who plays Nicole, will be back. Jasmine Simone's Kat and Sammy Haney's Esperanza are confirmed for Season 2 as well. Plus, given that Dion's father, Mark, is technically still kicking, we could be seeing more of Michael B. Jordan on screen as well. As for the rest of the cast, we'll definitely be seeing more of Suzanne Wu, who's the head of Biona, as reported by Deadline in February. Alian, who plays her, has been upped to a series regular. The same goes for Griffin Robert Faulkner, who portrays Brayden, another one of the second-gen supers like Dion. Since we saw a storm-like entity possess Brayden after Pat was defeated, it makes sense that he'll be even more of a forefront in the coming episodes. In terms of Jason Ritter, who plays Pat, it's yet to be confirmed whether he'll make an appearance. Ritter took to Twitter to express his excitement for Season 2 upon the series renewal, so that could mean we'll see him again. Be sure to prepare yourselves to see new faces as well. In February of 2021, Netflix announced a whole roster of new cast members. We'll be seeing Rome Flynn of How to Get Away with Murder as one of the new additions, taking on the role of Tevin Wakefield, a former Olympic track coach who's to become Dion's trainer and mentor. He's said to become close to Dion and Nicole, so we figure he'll be around a bunch next season. It's also likely that we'll be seeing another super kid coming into town, with the new character Janelle Carr, who's played by Aubriana Davis from Genius Aretha. According to Netflix, after the 15-year-old was labeled destructive and dangerous, her concerned mother, Simone, who will be played by another newcomer, Sweet Magnolia's Tracy Bonner, brought her to Biona for answers. The teen is speculated to have bonded a great deal with the Warren family. From the looks of it, it seems like we'll be spending a lot more time at Biona. The series is rounding out the Biona staff with Josh Ventura, who will play David Marsh, the research facility's new VP of Operations, who has a personal past with Suzanne Wu. In addition, we can confirm that Michael Anthony, who has appeared in Chicago Med, The Outsider, and Dynasty, will appear in Season 2 as Gary Stafford. Lastly, Scott Daniel Johnson will play the character of Joe. What can we expect from the plot this season? According to Netflix's official logline for this season, the rising tension between Dion and Brayden will definitely be at the forefront of the season. They might not face off immediately, but it seems very likely to happen eventually. This season is set 2 years after the events of Season 1, and Dion supposedly befriends Brayden as he continues his training with a new trainer, which is Rome Flynn's new character, Tevin. Once they connect, a series of alarming events unfold, and Dion learns that danger is still looming. According to Netflix, both Brayden and Dion connect and become friends before the plot twist hits, and Dion finds out that the danger still looms. However, it is still unclear as to what the danger might be, but whatever it is, it seems more grave than Season 1, as Dion and his mom are said to have to protect the entire city of Atlanta. It's possible the threat that's accumulating has answers about the fates of those who were absorbed by the Crooked Man, most notably Dion's father, Mark. During the Season 1 finale, we saw his spirit briefly become corporeal, allowing him to speak with Nicole and Dion before fading away once again. Mark isn't quite alive, but he's not quite dead either, so that means that his fate is still up in the air. Will this season be centered around the Crooked Man? It's possible Season 2 will be devoted to bringing Mark and those who were absorbed by the Crooked Man and whose spirits were released during his disintegration back to life. By the season's end, Dion confronts the villain, who managed to possess Brayden, the son of one of the super-powered men that the villain has absorbed in the past. This sets the stage for Season 2's conflict between the hero, Dion, and Brayden. The threat itself isn't specified, but its scope is definitely bigger than than it was in Season 1. Considering that Dion and Nicole now have an entire city to protect, it's quite possible that the said threat could very well be the Crooked Man. Perhaps he has all the answers pertaining to the fates of those he had consumed, including Dion's father. There's still a really big question mark over what happened to him and how it might be resolved in the future episodes. It is entirely possible for Season 2 to completely focus on bringing those absorbed by the Crooked Man back to life, but that could mean ending the series a season or two earlier. As much as fans would love to see Michael B. Jordan's superhero dad of the series in action, bringing him back would eliminate one of Dion's motivations, which would ultimately shorten the series altogether. Do we have the same showrunners as last season? So, when the series was initially renewed in early 2020, it was confirmed by Variety that the same names who were behind the scenes in Season 1 will be on for Round 2. The names being Carol Barbee, and even though it's still unclear if we'll get to see him on screen, Michael B. Jordan will definitely be executive producing behind the camera. The same goes for Kenny Goodman, Kim Roth, Dennis Liu, and Charles D. King. Production schedule for the show. Speaking of producing, as previously stated, production was not underway as per the original plan because it was canceled due to the pandemic, which inflicted heavy delays on production. Originally, production was set to start at some point in 2020. However, due to all the production woes caused by COVID-19 restrictions, production was significantly pushed back, finally getting underway in January of 2021. Production took place over the course of several months, with the preliminary dates suggesting that filming takes place from January 19th through May 24th of 2021. Season 2 is being filmed in Atlanta, Georgia, specifically EUE Screen Gems Studios. Various casting calls took place in early February of 2021 for the show looking for extras. Moreover, Richard Violet posted on April 25th of 2021 that he had wrapped up his episodes on Season 2 of the show. Dennis Liu is said to have returned to the director's seat for Season 2 and is scheduled to direct episodes 3 and 4 respectively. So, where do we see Dion's journey headed? The biggest motivator for this young superhero is the fact that he still needs to find a way to bring his dad home for good. The young man still has a lot to learn about his powers, and if he is eventually to become a superhero, Dion will naturally have to face plenty of challenges along the way, as a budding superhero must. If the story of Raising Dion can run for at least 4 seasons, it'll be an experience to watch both the character Dion and the actor Josiah grow into a young man, to say the least. Talking about other big questions, fans would obviously wonder whether Nicole will be able to find love, with there being some remnants of hope in the final episode of Season 1. As of right now, Charlotte, Pat, and Mark are all missing, but could return in some form depending on what happens next. Lastly, Digital Spy speculates that fans may see Dion eventually meeting other gifted children as well. With that being said, we're so sure the series is going to knock everyone's expectations right out of the ballpark, considering the influx of interest people have begun taking in superhero content besides Marvel and DC, as well as what we know of the plotline thus far. We're sure you'll all love following along with Dion's journey this season, regardless of where it takes us. That's it for today, folks, but we'll be back with more interesting videos in the future. To stay informed about the entertainment industry, keep watching our videos. Tell us what you're expecting from this adaptation in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe before leaving. Over and out.